With the deadline fast approaching, it was time for Barack Obama to reach out to Congress and remind them who they were supposed to be protecting. Yet this did not for all the world look like a president whose country was teetering on the edge of crisis.
It appears that an agreement to prevent this New Year's tax hike is within sight, but it's not done. There are still issues left to resolve, but we're hopeful that Congress can get it done. But it's not done.
Yet the man who once challenged him for the presidency immediately took to the floor of the Senate to denounce Obama's lack of leadership.
I guess I have to wonder, and I think the American people have to wonder, whether the president really wants this issue resolved, or is it to his short-term political benefit for us to go over the cliff?
As of tomorrow, if no deal is struck, there will be tax hikes for all bands of income. Low earners currently pay income tax of 10% and higher earners 35%. They will both go up by around 5% to 15% and nearly 40%. Then over the coming months, there will also be across-the-board departmental spending cuts. Defence will be hardest hit, with a 9.4% slash to their budget. The combination of the tax hikes and spending cuts would cut the US deficit by $600 billion. But economists are warning that could wipe as much as 4% off America's GDP at a time when growth, not recession, is in order. But it does seem that agreement is not far off.
And I can report that we've reached an agreement on all of the tax issues. We are very, very close. As the President just said, the most important piece, the piece that has to be done now, is preventing the tax hikes.
In the nearby city of Annapolis, shoppers stock up on the essentials before the New Year celebrations. But amidst the festive cheer, a large measure of concern. Politicians have had an age to solve these problems, but negotiations continue right up until last orders.
Long term, I'm a small businessman. 60% of my customers are either federal, state, or county employees, and I estimate another 20% are contractors and people that live off of those employees. It's going to be just like 2009. People will trade down and they're going to tighten up.
Two fingers of blame are being pointed directly at the politicians, and by implication the president, who warned that falling off the cliff would lead to disaster.
I'm frustrated. I think that the Democrats and the Republicans are using this as a way to kind of say we're better than each other.
It's something that they waited to the last minute, and it's it's just very frustrating to deal with that, especially at this time of year.
I think they're much more concerned about how they come out looking at the end of this, whether the Republicans win or the Democrats win.
Like healthcare before it, avoiding the fiscal cliff required leadership and dealing with Congress with a firm hand. Even if a deal is eventually struck, President Obama's reputation has suffered a significant blow.